Hello everyone, welcome back to GeoCAD Chronicles. This is part 2 of our QGIS tutorials for beginners. So previously in the last video we saw how to download and install QGIS on a Windows operating system 10 and Windows 11. So in this tutorial we are going to have a view of the interface of QGIS interface. I'm talking about the user interface. If you can see my screen right now, I believe you are able to see what I'm talking of. So this is the interface we are going to be working with, and QGIS. This is the interface that we usually work with for most of the projects that we handle. So what we are going to, let me start by explaining to you what these are. We are seeing icons. So right now we have where you see the project, edit, view, layer, settings, plugs, vector, raster, database, web, mesh, processing, and help. So this is called the menu bar. So this menu bar, this is where you have most of the tools, where you can get most of the tools, all things to work with, features to work with. The features of QGIS, most of them are here. The database, when you talk of the database, we come here, we can find here we can find databases like Oracle, Postgres, spatial layout, and your package virtual layers also. So in further videos we shall see how to use those databases. We have features of raster. This also contains tools that work with raster data. When I talk of raster data, meaning read data, mostly images and such like images. So then when I talk of vector, we have the vector feature here in the menu bar. This vector feature of vector tool contains tools and some geoprocessing. Mostly the ease to access geoprocessing tools, the commonly used tools in processing vector layers. We can see we have the clip, buffer. We shall explain what each of these does in further videos. We have the plugs. So these are what we call these plugs are what you can call added features for some processes to run. When this QGIS, you can run some processes the way it is, but there are some processes that will require some added features. That's where these plugs come in. So you have the settings, how you have the interface. You can customize your interface here. You can choose the keyboard shortcuts here. So mine are left to default. So you can see my key shortcuts are left to default. So but you can change yours if you want. So we have the layer. So this layer contains where you can add in the data from, create, and among others. So we have the view here, we have the map view, among other features there, the edit and the projects. So basically that's a brief information about the menu bar. So we also have these two lines, this and this. This is what we call the toolbar attributes. So all these are tools, and most of the tools which are here are the commonly used tools, just as the navigate tool right now. If you can see this pan hand here, this is for the create new project, this is for opening project, this is for saving projects. So among others, here you can see the zoom in and zoom out. You can see the new map view, and you can see all these, select by location, identifier, which is this one, the measurement tool or measure line tool. So these tool, what we see, these icons you see here are what we call the tools, and these are the commonly used tools. So this what we have here is there for adding our data sources. These tools handle data, the data we use. So right after that, let me talk about what we see here on my left hand side, or on our left hand side. We have what we call panels. So for those of you who know what panels are, panels, just as we can see these icons, these tools here, these lines. So for panels are areas where some features are kept. So when I talk of the panels on my left, I mean the browser and the layers. So these panels can be docked anytime you want. So you can see that I can move it around. So if I want to dock it again, I bring it back here. So I can resize it anywhere I want. If I want to undock, I click here. If I want to remove it, I click here. So in case you open your QGIS and you find those panels not there, just move the cursor to the top of the toolbar space, right click, and then you browse through the panel list and choose the panel you want. So for us, we had the browser to panel, which you can see that now it's back, and we also had the layers panel. So if I click the layers panel, which is this, I click on it, I select on it, it comes back. So in case you find that in most of the QGIS software for beginners, if you open this, you are not going to find this processing toolbox. This is also a panel that I had put on the right. So if you open your QGIS and you don't find the processing toolbox panel there, just move the cursor to the processing menu bar button, and then from there you'll find what we call a toolbox. For the shortcut, it's Ctrl-Alt-T. So you click toolbox, and then it will come to the what? To be displayed there on your right. So right now, in my space, you can see there are some conference news, and then there is a project template, and then there is a previous project I was working on. So right now, let me continue to creating a project. So, but before I continue, let me first continue to creating a project. Creating a project, I can click here, create new project here, or I can click the project in the project in the menu bar. Then I say create new, which is Ctrl-N, create new project. So right now we can see the project is created. That's why other panels that we are here have disappeared. So what this big space that we have here is called the map canvas or the map view area. This is where you view what you are working on. So at the bottom here we have the status bar. This is status bar here. We have the coordinate system. You can see it here. I'm working within the WGS 84. Then we have the rotation. If you want to rotate the map, the magnifier, the scale from scaling your map, the coordinate system, among others that you can put here. So briefly, that's what we have in our interface, user interface, a brief introduction on those tools. So to go further, we have seen that I have created a project. So now the project is not yet saved. So to save the project, you come back to project, you click on project, you click save. Then when you click save, it's going to take you to browse where you are going to save your work. So in this case, I'm saving our work. Let me create a new folder for our tutorial. So this is let me call this projects. So let me call this one project 1. Project 1. So then I click save. So right now we can see that the name changed from untitled to project 1. So it means that my QGIS work is now saved, or the project is now saved. But so if I want to check if it is saved, I can also come here in my browser to panel. I browse through my storage units on my disk. So for me, I saved it under D. I click D. I go to GeoCAD Chronicles. I can see that I had the wrong name there, which I'm going to correct. So I go to projects. So projects, we can see that the projects are what? The project 1 is already there in our project. So with that, so that's how you can create and save a project. So furthermore, this browser panel has a lot of tools. You can also it has a lot of features that you have to get used to. So let me stop here. So in my next videos, we shall talk other things that relate to our QGIS workflow. Thank you.